We'll see how things go as we continue forward. I'm still very much missing that electricity resistance. I was about to say may become a factor. Did not expect it to immediately become a factor with our dragon pal here. But we should be able to kill you quickly enough that it's not the end of the world. Then what I may do is actually say no to this little stone corridor for now. Generally, those are filled with enemies that are a little above what you might otherwise come to expect by this stage in the dungeon. So I'm going to play it a wee bit on the safe side, leave those sons of guns at their own mercy for now. And we'll come back at a later date to clean things up and see how things are looking over that direction. Okie dokie. That's steps 2. Definitely feeling much safer now that we've swapped back from our dragon ways. So unfortunately, I think we were just a smidge too early in that endeavor. So we'll just have to return a little bit later in the run when it's a bit more manageable. Maybe when we have a few other tools at our disposal to go in to the spellcasting game. A bit more cohesion. But otherwise, let's just tab our way through all these sons of guns. And another week crawlers. Doing our best for sure. Now it just becomes a question of will we make it yet another one. That's the plan, that's the dream, and we'll see if we can't capitalize on it. I mean, going pretty smoothly so far, even with some silly mistakes, the occasional problems. Everything is looking just hunky-dory. Oh my gosh, just look at all the goods that have been left behind. Ouch. Terrible dodging of that orb destruction, but you know, terrible dodging aside, still feeling pretty fantastic here. Hello friend, goodbye, and keep doing the horrible thing, by the way, for anyone who's maybe just learning the game and looking for what not to do by any stretch. Do not walk into the middle of unknown territory to meet your attackers face to face. Generally, it's a heck of a lot safer to let them come to you and keep things a bit more on the slow side. But there goes my, I guess that's just my hubris. Taking control there. I will swap over to Boots of Flying since we do have Rampage on the fairy scales here. So that seems like a pretty solid trade for us, all in all. Not super likely to become relevant, but on the off chance that we find ourselves with a nice pool of lava and or deep water, could be the difference between life or death, or just a fun way to cheese enemies and not have to deal with any of the stress of actually taking them on in standard fashion. Ooh, a Juggernaut. Okay, come on, my friend. Fortunately, the Juggernaut doesn't attack super fast, but it's, yeah, 40 and 80. So we're getting close to dangerously lethal territory. And not dealing as much damage as I would have liked, if I'm being honest. But maybe I reach out and grab you. And that kind of gets the job done in spectacular fashion. As we see an electricity themed friend pop around the corner. I think you lightning bolt, right? 3d24. Oof, oof, oof. Reach out and grab you. Do you want to just keep everyone kind of pinned behind you there, my giant friend? That would be lovely. Oh, perfect. Okay, I was just saying to myself, I want this polymorpher to swap. Definitely would rather not fight a rad roach unless we absolutely have to. We're not in the wastes of the Fallout here, so let's not contend with those sons of guns. Ooh. Let's see what we got here. a subpar ring, but condenser vein and file floods, both incredible pieces of work. So let us maybe drop this down for now. Oops, I did not mean to put on the Shield of Ignorance. Let's change that back. Would like to keep that for the future. Got Servitor 2. That we did. So let's see. That should be castable at level 6. Or have I just forgotten all of my spell levels? Is it 7? I've forgotten all my spell levels. So just don't trust me for anything I'm saying here is what it boils down to. But 36% castable in our current get up here. It's not horrible. Wizardry would help with that if we did want to swap over, I guess. Hey, Belfon, how's it going? Reminds me of a tabletop RPG show you this new one, so it was Fallout themed, and they fought this rad roach that kept rolling so well, and the party kept rolling so bad they were almost wiped. Forever remembered as the Cepha roach. You gotta love that. There's only so much good DMing practice you can do before, unfortunately, luck does sometimes just ruin all of your well-laid plans. But that is fantastic. You're guessing Gnoll met an awful end, or that wasn't Gnoll? You're getting runs mixed up, aren't you? You are, but yes, Trogulldite. So you were actually on the right theme there. It was in fact Trog mixed with species, so you were pretty much there. But unfortunately, yes, Trogulldite had some unfortunate lack of brain power as we made our way through Pan, specifically Nolig's realm, just wiped us of all remaining intelligence, leading to some brainless action that was less than ideal, shall we say. But here we are, on to the next one, and so far, very much enjoying our lovely Gnoll here. It's like tempted to just condenser vein largely for fun. You know, celebrate recently getting that son of a gun added to our repertoire here. In fact, you know what, let's do it. Hip hip hurrah. I mean, can't get much better than that. That's our, what, evocations now? Almost 16 evocations. Just wonderful stuff. Does feel a little wasted, seeing as how we probably could have murdered everyone the old-fashioned way, but sometimes it's about the presentation of it all. Sure, you could just kill everyone, but making them feel well and truly hopeless before you do so, priceless. Only 3 boomerangs remain here, unfortunately. Let's see how many we mulch just trying to murder some dragons with them. There's no better dragon slaying weapon than the average boomerang. As I immediately start taking a bit more damage than expected, do I heal wounds and berserk rage here? I'm definitely going to get myself killed on this character, just doing silly stuff like this. Most namely, taking berserk rage when it's really not the best idea. But again, it's intimidation, exactly what does. You gotta remind the monsters who's in charge sometimes. Exactly. We are not stuck in the dungeon with them. They're stuck in the dungeon with us, of course. This is an interesting little vault area. I had never seen that before. At least the deaths are kind of just stuck in the middle there, so we don't have to worry about them, but what a cute little design that is. What fun. Just for my own sanity, let's mark all of that as no-go zones, and then we don't have to worry about auto-explore consistently freaking out as we try to traipse our way about. Though I'm not sure, actually, now that I think about it, if the deaths count as an enemy that freezes us through walls. I never really understand what the exact parameters are for that. I guess if they have ranged attacks, a lot of times seems to be when the game stops you from doing anything, even with some safety glass between you and your new friends. But regardless, that is a-okay. I'm no interest in doing this vault right now, but there is an artifact cloak in there. I think what it would boil down to is reading a teleport scroll, waiting a turn or two, and then popping it. Do you have Shield of the Gong, my ghost friend? Hate that. Definitely don't want to fight against that unless we absolutely have to. But there we go. That is depths all well and cleared here. Fantastic stuff. So, what do we do next? Where do we go next? I guess Elf might be the next best thing. I'm not excited to go play with all those Zephyrmancers in my current setup, though. That seems a little less than ideal. Could always just, I guess, go for our third rune if we wanted. It's looking like Abyss might be our best bet since we are currently on a pretty sustainable build. Decent AC. I say decent because it's not great either. Don't know if we could actually handle the Abyss. I'd like to hold out if at all possible. Maybe do another quick check on our spells here. The one good thing about the Abyss, now that I think about it, is we have apportation, and I haven't done any sneaky apportation stuff on any of our on-camera runs, I believe. So it could be a fun opportunity to try and ninja the Abyss rune right out from under those Sons of Guns' noses. I maybe also should learn Yara's Violent Unraveling. Have a way of getting rid of effects without relying on our Quicksilver wand charges, seeing as how we don't have a lot of those anyway. Interesting considerations to take into account. Regardless, I think I will take this as a brief moment to take a 30-second to minute break, run out and grab a refill for my drink, pretend that I'm making decisions while I do so, but probably still have no idea when we get back. You know the whole routine by now, but regardless, don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back. See you in a sec. Okie dokie. Oh my gosh, my partner's just finished, or not my partner's, my partner just finished eating some amazing smelling food out there. Oh geez, I'm definitely gonna have to grab a bit of a bite once we finish off today, but for the moment, let's get back to this. As promised, I did not come to any decisions while running out to grab my drink. So, maybe I check out Elf. I don't think I'll go much further than Elf 1. We have resistance potions for an emergency situation if we do need to resort to that. We also are up to 9,000 gold, I just realized, so things are looking pretty solid there. I guess another option, another potential play here, buy a shop. Maybe? That sounds like an okay plan. I'm generally not a huge fan of calling merchant. I find that it doesn't usually make its or it's not usually worth its weight in gold, I should say. Except in the specific circumstance when you are lacking in resistances, or you're just missing that one pièce de resistance of your build that you need to catapult yourself to glory and beyond. So I could try to call in one shop. Still have plenty of turns, so I'm also tempted to decide on where our future home will be. And it might be the temple. So we're gonna head up that direction for the moment here. Head on in. And like, what a wonderful spot to set up shop, you know? So let us call a merchant, shall we? And I would like none of these three. I don't want armor or scrolls. I was hoping for jewelry, of course. That was my main consideration here. Specifically getting like an artifact amulet, or getting a ring, replacing our armor class 1 with something that gave us the needed resistances. Potentially even something like wizardry. Who knows? Could be nice. So it's between the magic scroll shop or an armor shop. The armor, we'd be hoping for gloves, boots, or helmet. All of which I guess could get us what we want. You know what? Gozeg, you know better than me. How dare I insult the wisdom, the unlimited knowledge of the supreme money bag? You probably had a plan the whole time, and it's this armor shop which is going to have an artifact helmet with resist electricity. Or not. Not at all. And in fact, just garbage. Power Shield of Hall of Blades. This is almost interesting. That minus cast is a deal breaker for me. Harm RF and 2 pips of willpower on a specific run, a very specific type of run. That could be a lovely thing. Have I used much magic on this guy? Definitely a little bit. We've started dabbling already. We took a bit of a brief break where we took off our armor and we were doing Dragonform Manifold Assault shenanigans. Unfortunately, it was a little too sketchy at the time. Still might come back to that in the future, though. And otherwise, yeah, we're still using like Vow Clutch. Haven't had to use Blink yet, but Vow Clutch and Irradiate have been 2 exceptionally useful spells in our current kind of setup here. I'm gonna go against my usual routine here. I'm gonna call Merchant a second time. Antique armor. It's expensive for this antique armor shop, but I'm gonna trust you a second time, Gozeg. Let's do this. Not good. I'll buy these gloves. Oh, it's more Dex gloves. What fun. Okay, I'm sorry, Gozeg. I must have done something to offend you, right? That's the only real explanation for this, this chicanery here. But that's fine. We'll still head to Elf. Once again, we have resistance potions if things go horribly wrong. And until that point, this is a very interesting opening to Elf. I definitely don't think I've seen anything quite like it here. Gozeg wants us to have money, not spend it, right? So many shops there for offensive. That is true. We're not hoarding wealth. Or wealth, rather. We're not doing as all the best business people of the dungeon have done before us. So that is a very astute point, one that I did not think of. I apologize, Gozeg, of course. This was not my intention. I merely wanted to sacrifice some of my money to the great money bags above. Oh gosh. So this is kind of that scenario I was just talking about. I could, I guess, resistance and fight my way through it. I'm gonna potion petition and hope we get it. Haste and resistance. Heck yeah. And then we're just gonna smash tab, blast our way through all these sons of guns, and that should be beautiful. I don't want to waste this resistance, so I'm actually gonna... Actually, now that I think about it, we're not gonna find anyone because Marcus, our favorite Mark, of course, brought all of them to us, so that is just fine. And we'll get right back on the highway here, statue form, I guess, technically gives us electricity resistance. So that's an interesting consideration. It should be castable. Yeah, do you know what? I'll learn that for now. And in fact, when we do, we go up in AC just a smidge, so that seems kind of nice. There we go. We have a backup plan for electricity here, which makes me feel much more comfortable with continuing to make our way through Elf. Extra fire resistance. Nothing else is unfortunately great there. That's almost a really fantastic ring. On any other character, it would be probably like an instant buy. But for us here today, doesn't quite have the zhoosh that I'm looking for. Oops, let's go right back in there. Book of Spectacle, no thank you. Book of the Sky. Book of the Sky is 792. My previous source of MCC, won't let me be, is 504. So, nope, just gonna keep on moving right on by, move on up. That's an interesting ring. The game really doesn't want us being a spellcaster this run. Almost everything incredible that we found has some kind of negative effect on our intelligence. But otherwise, this is kind of nice. I mean, if we were being really kind of pedantic about our options here, going into dragon form, then swapping into this ring would probably be pretty incredible. Manifold Assault would still be fully castable. Would lose some spell power there. But the extra evasion, the extra resistances, all pretty fantastic for a dragon in need. I'll mark you. Keep it in mind for the future. And otherwise, let's just continue our blitz through Elf here. Slaughtering everything as we go. I was kind of hoping we'd find one of the spells we've been holding out for in those two tomes, but not the end of the world. We have tons of money, as it were, so we will eventually get everything we need, and that is fantastic. So let's keep on heading down into Elf 2 here. Zephyrmancers being the only potential concern, and even then, we just get ourselves into stone form here, and not a care in the world. Just being the happy little camper we are. Fantastic. Bit of extra unarmed skill there. Sounds like it could be pretty beautiful for us as well. Definitely brings the potential dragon form future back as a potential reality. So I take way more damage from those Zephyrmancers than I had any right to. This is why statue form exists, folks. In fact, maybe to make my life a wee bit easier here, let's move statue form onto our macro, capital M there, and then I can very easily just swap into that, or rather keep it online as much as we possibly can, or as much as necessary, really. And that should be just about perfect. Hello, Hall of Blades. Goodbye, Hall of Blades. Almost no interest whatsoever in hanging out. So we're just gonna move right on by that. I'm not sure at this point in time if I wish to do the final vault area of Elf. We're gonna have to make that call once we get a little bit closer. I'm still happy to clear out the rest of Elf 3 here, of course. Should be relatively similar to what we've already faced, so that's not exactly the end of the world. Okay, that was unstoppable object meets unhittable force. Hello, Zenata. If I recall, there's an easy way to deal with you, and it's just called bringing in my own Zenata. As long as I get good dancing weapons, which I did not in fact get in the end, but regardless still managed to take you down, and there is the final zone. Fantastic. Okay. Where is the Elementalist? Oh, there you are. I assumed you had to be nearby somewhere or another. I will do a bit of blasting. Maybe close this door. Oh, excuse me? Friends? Compatriots? Okay. Well, that was interesting. I'm not sure what happened there. I guess Ghost Egg's gold distraction does have its way with people. Does have a wicked way directly into the hearts of most folks. And not too shabby. Reach 24. There we go. I was kind of hoping that we'd gain that next level here. Oh, geez. None of that is really what I meant to do. I meant to go statue mode. And do one of these, and let's see how much damage that does. In fact, I'm going to cancel my teleport. Bit of a waste of a scroll there, but that is preferable to landing in the middle of the Elf 3 vault area and regretting all my decisions in life, so I will gladly take that for now. And let's just block that out.